James, did you get all your planning done?
We're not all finished yet. We got started a little bit later down in this region. We had some rains that some people didn't get, but we're making great progress, and the crops are looking good.
Great, great. So, hey, so thank you for doing this today. Again, we're looking forward to just chatting with you a little bit here today, and in preparation here for the virtual pork congress that's coming up. Wondered if you'd start with a little bit of who you are and what you do.
Okay, Ron. My wife Sheila and I, we own and operate RFW Farms Limited. This is a 5,000 sow farrow to finish system. We're based here in the province of Ontario.
Excellent, excellent. So yeah, that's a very nice size operation for sure. Obviously the hog industry right now is interesting. Let's say, I mean, the whole world is quite interesting right now. So just in one sentence, if you could say, what do you think the current climate of the hog industry looks like right now?
In one sentence, there is remarkable potential, but there is even more than normal uncertainties.
Yeah, no, that sums it up really well there, James. So, so there's a number of things going on in the Ontario hog industry right now. And I was just kind of wondering what you think the number one priority in the Ontario hog industry should be at this time.
I think hog value determination is key in order for them to survive and thrive going forward. And one way to do that is, of course, through ownership and risk taking, as Conestoga owners have done. The other way is to try and seek some further benchmarks. And I would comment that the current way of pricing hogs in this province, working off of the CME daily price, is much better than using some other benchmarks in the US. But nonetheless, we do need to take a look at that. I suppose if you pushed me for one big picture item, it would be, how do we determine value going forward? And it needs to be part of a respectful discussion between processors and producers. Easy to say, but the work to come up with a bit of a revised system will be important.
Yeah, like you said earlier, I mean, I know you love farming, and then most people that are still in the business still do, but it's definitely a little more fun if you can make some money.
That is what enables one to invest and thrive, and
exactly, and then have the industry just move forward. And with that being said, like, I mean, another thing that is very important in a business like this is just sentiment, and just wondering if you've got a feel at all for what the sentiment among producers is, and maybe even other industry players in the industry during these uncertain times.
I think there is a bunker mentality right now in our own province. We have a lot to be thankful for, because we are still, as producers, as processors, we are still running. But we're just also aware of the next shoe that could drop.
That's fair enough. I mean, probably a cautious optimism at best, right?
Yeah, and we know that there is all kinds of potential. That might be the star that we pursue, but we just also know of the things that can go wrong next.
Just wondering if it has affected your business, the COVID-19, and and how it may have affected the Ontario hog industry here as well.
It has changed to a degree what we do, but we have still made a focus on continuing to work closely with all the people in our system, and with as much as we can necessary precautions. We also face some backed up hogs in our barns, nothing severe, but there's always just kind of that, always having one more load of hogs that could be shipped. But we're thankful for the hogs that we are able to move, and we're essentially staying with current, but behind maybe a half week. We are realizing that the larger the farm unit, sometimes that can also raise more risks. You can do the mathematics and say, well, the efficiency of a 5,000 sow farm is greater than something smaller, but then one begins to balance off some of these risks. And and in the same place, a processing plant. It might be more efficient to have a 100,000 pig a week processing plant, but then you're also putting more risks on you.
Yeah, like I've said too, like, I mean, I've been in the hog industry all my life too, just like you, James. And I mean, we're kind of COVID-19 as hog farmers, you're kind of used to biosecurity, which is really a big part of kind of what COVID-19 is kind of doing right now, is trying to protect people through a level of biosecurity.
That is true.
So the government has been, well, doing lots of stuff out there, but you wonder, how do you feel about what they've done to assist the Ontario hog industry in this time?
Sometimes when something doesn't go wrong, one doesn't realize there was a whole lot of background work. And if we think about Conestoga and Safina, I know that Conestoga, and I can only assume Safina has as well, developed really good relationships where they have been able to keep these plants operating. As there have been some positive C19 cases, they've been able to deal with it, handle the health of their employees or staff, and still keep the plants running. And I don't think that was by random accident. I think there's been some good, hard behind the scenes work going on. So we need to recognize governments for, I think, being committed to doing all that they can to respectfully manage this. From a farm program perspective, the federal program, agri stability, that could be improved. Right now, it's a bit designed so that we producers feel like we are donkeys chasing carrots. It was set at a 70% reference margin, and they really should take that back up to 80% if they really want to provide meaningful help. There's very promising potential, but we can't, as producers, take what we have for granted, nor can governments take us for granted. And future success won't happen by accident. So we will need to keep on intently working together and trying to responsibly figure out how we, as in general, smaller scale farm operations, continue to thrive.
And then I guess one final question. I mean, as I mentioned at the beginning, partially why we're doing this is as an introduction to this virtual format there that the Ontario Pork Congress is going with this year. And we're wondering how you felt about that, what you think about this new online format.
I do think it's a great idea to try and, as much as we can, seek normal going forward, even if normal means a little bit different.
So I guess maybe I'll see you there online. But otherwise, like say, let's hope things get back to normal. I'd love to get together with you for lunch or coffee or whatever, James, sometime.
Thanks, Ron. All the best. Have a good day.
Bye.